Hey, so for this section, it's 12.6, it's volume of spheres. It's probably one of the easiest out of all of them, of all the volumes. You don't have to find a base area, you just find the complete volume. In some of the problems, you may get asked a question about the great circle. All it is really is, if you were to cut a sphere in half, it would be the circle that is left on the flat surface. So on a hemisphere, it was the base. So just be forewarned, if you get to a problem that asks you about the great circle, it is just talking about the biggest circle that if you were to cut, like I said, a sphere in half, it is the circle that is created as the base. So it has the same center as the sphere, and all the radii are the same. So like I said, the great circle splits the sphere into two congruent hemispheres. So to find the volume of a sphere, you do 4/3 pi r cubed. So if you remember, going back to surface area, the surface area was 4 pi r squared. So the only thing we've changed between these two is now we divide by 3 at the end and we have a cubed instead of a square. So that's the only difference. So for example, to find the volume of a sphere with a diameter of 12 centimeters. Well, first off, this has nothing to do with diameter at all. We need the radius. So to find the radius, divide by 2. So the radius is 6 centimeters. So the volume, all you do is plug it in. The volume is 4 pi times 6 cubed divided by 3. And when you do all of that, you get 288 pi centimeters. And remember, everything's cubed, so cubed. So pretty easy, right? You take 4 times pi times the radius cubed and then divide by 3. If you have a calculator that won't do it all, do 6 times 6 times 6, or just 6 to the third power, times it by 4, divide it by 3, put a pi at the end. Same answer. So next one, here we have a hemisphere. Same diameter, but a hemisphere is half the sphere. So if you remember, it's got the same radius as the one we just did, so the radius is 6. So we know the volume of a whole sphere, so the volume of the sphere, so I'll write that all down, was 288 pi centimeters cubed. So to find the volume of a hemisphere, that's an H by the way, not an N, so hemisphere, you're going to take the volume of the sphere, so 288 pi, and since this is half the volume of a sphere, you're just going to divide it by 2. And you get 144 pi centimeters cubed. Now, the way I know that I need to leave it in terms of pi is it says give the exact answer. If you put in a decimal, you have to round. And when you round, you've pretty much disregarded it being exact. You end up making it rounded. So make sure you leave pi in there. So one more example for you. Very, very short video today. So find the volume of a sphere if the circumference is 36, and I'm going to amend this, 36 pi centimeters. If we don't put pi in there, we'll have some ugly decimals later on. So to find the volume, you need the radius. Well, we're not given the radius, but we know that the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. We can solve for the radius. So my circumference is 36 pi, so I'm just going to replace that with this. So I have 36 pi equals 2 pi r. So I want r by itself. So to do that, I have to get rid of 2 pi. And since they are all being multiplied, I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. So based on what I know the 2's go away, the pi's go away, the pi's here go away, and 36 divided by 2 is 18. So 18 is my radius. Well, that makes it simple. Now that I have my radius, I can find my volume. So my volume equals 4 pi times my radius cubed. So we found my radius to be 18. I cube that, that's going to be a really big number, and divide this by 3. So when you do all of that, you get a really big number. Again, 18 cubed times the 4, divide by the 3, put a pi at the end. This is 7,776 pi, so 7,776 pi centimeters cubed. Remember, pi always comes before all the units. This is the last thing. So that's it. That's all I have for you. And we're at 5 minutes. Very short lesson. So 2 questions that go on the quiz that you're supposed to take. First one is this. Let me move the picture up a little bit so you can actually see what the radius is. So leave in terms of pi. So we have the radius is 12 inches, so find the volume. Now we have find the volume of a sphere if the circumference is 12 pi. So on the quiz, when you have to put pi in there, just do pi. Works the same exact way. Just do 12 pi. So find the volume there. Go back to the 3 examples that we did for those. And if you have any questions, make sure you put that in the quiz before you're done, or at that third question.